Namaskar. My name is Raj and I welcome you to my YouTube channel, Spiritual Raj. Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt everything is so perfect and it just ended out of nowhere? Or do you find meeting different people but it ends up in the same old story where you find yourself getting attached to that person and then after a while there is distance, silence, and then heartbreak? Or maybe by now you're tired of looking for something stable and long lasting. If any of this sounds familiar to you, then this video might actually help you understand the repeated karmic patterns, why this is happening to you, and help you break the cycle of disappointments and heartbreak. You might be mirroring unhealed traumas that become karmic patterns. In relationships, our experiences are a reflection of our inner patterns, some conscious and some which are buried deep inside us in our subconscious. Maybe you're getting attracted to people who match your unhealed wounds, and subconsciously you get drawn towards certain people because that seems familiar, even if you know that that relationship is unhealthy, but you know how to deal with it. You may have grown believing that you can receive love in a certain way, which actually relates to your relationship with your parents, the stories you have heard about successful relationships, the movies that you've seen, or a perfect relationship that you might have imagined which would someday come true for you. But if you're caught up in a situation where people are leaving you without any reason, and this has become a pattern, means that you are not addressing the unhealed part of your partner in a relationship. You might feel very comfortable listening to their promises, their possessiveness, their attention, everything. But you may not have made efforts to understand the unhealed part of that person. Two people come in a relationship to heal an unhealed part of themselves. Now, believing that the other person will take care of your emotional insecurities and you will depend on them for that, this behavior eventually leads to distance, as you may feel that you've been doing everything right. You've been loyal, you've been transparent, you've been honest, but you have not made efforts to heal that insecure part of that person who is with you in that relationship. There is a massive emotional impact on you when you face these heartbreaks, and there is a need of spiritual alignment, which I'll talk about in this section. You give your heart, your soul, your time, energy, everything you feel that is required to maintain a healthy relationship, and then eventually it turns into a heartbreak. This could lead to emotional burnout, self doubt, and never opening up about your feelings again to anybody else. But the important part to understand here is that these repeated heartbreaks or people leaving you doesn't mean that you are unlovable. It is often a sign that you're being pushed to evolve and stop settling for connections that drain you emotionally, mentally, and start preparing yourself for something that is real and more aligned to your energies. This means this is time for inner work. You need to step back from active life and start working on yourself. You can practice Kriya Yoga, breathing exercises, learn to express yourself emotionally to people without having the fear of getting rejected or being laughed at, or maybe travel to meet people of different nationalities. This will help you leave that frequency from which you are operating, attracting similar people, leading to the similar outcome. Now, how to break this cycle? Let's take up a use case, which I get very often in my consultations. Let's imagine you have a partner who is extremely possessive about you, who texts you day and night, keep checks on you, have video calls, doesn't sleep until you sleep, and you feel so pampered, so cared. And then suddenly this person turns up one day, stops calling you for 2 days. And the third day, this person says, I don't think this is working anymore. And then again, silence, distance, and heartbreak. What actually happened here is that that person grew insecure about you. Maybe you travel a lot. Maybe you have a lot of friends. Maybe you speak to a lot of people every day. And that person was trying to keep a check on you or was extremely possessive about you. And that part got so overwhelming in that person that that person stopped having any trust on you and then eventually gave up one day believing that you were not into him. Now, unconsciously, you did something which triggered this insecurity inside your partner. You might have got busy in work thinking that that person gave you assurances about getting married, settling down, having kids, and having a beautiful life. So now you thought that your personal life is sorted. Now you took some time for yourself, your friends, your professional life, and maybe stopped checking on your partner. And you may not have figured out that something was actually bothering them. Now, our hearts are very soft, they're very childlike. They need reassurances. They need somebody to keep telling them, yes, I am there for you. I want you to express what you want. This is your safe space. What you want, just express it to me. Tell me what it is. Now, when somebody actually trusts you that much, they expect that you would figure some things out about them and not challenge them on that part, but actually help them heal that part in them. Now, when two people come closer, they come to heal certain part which they feel that that other person will actually help them to heal. Now, when the relationship turns very aggressive and abusive, that becomes a karmic relationship. But when somebody does this with a lot of love, care, and affection, that becomes a soulmate relationship. So you should actually figure out where your partner is coming from, what kind of traumas or insecurities this person is carrying, which you need to take care of as a partner. Nurture that part, give reassurances, help that person heal through a lot of love and concern, which will form a base for a long term relationship. So, in the case that we are discussing, if that person suddenly says that I don't feel that you still are into me, I don't feel that love, that concern from you, means that he or she has developed those insecurities and they are at their extreme high. And rather than fighting it, you should nurture it. You should take a step back and just spend some time, discuss a lot about what they're feeling at that moment, and give some reassurances so it makes your bond even stronger. Or thirdly, it could be a problem with you where you feel that you are so attached to somebody that you fear expressing anything because you feel that this may get out of hands and that person may leave you. So maybe that's why you do not address a lot of issues or a lot of concerns or a lot of things that must be discussed in a healthy relationship where you can discuss things that are bothering you, things that are bothering your partner in a very healthy and mature discussion. But if there are fears that you're carrying from traumas from your childhood, your relationship with your parents, previous relationships, if you're carrying that in this relationship as well, there are probably chances that this will end the same way all your previous relationships have ended. So, how to heal from the attachments, the traumas that you have from your childhood, your relationship with your parents that are affecting your present relationships. Now, parents unconsciously, when they raise a child, they make it very task oriented. Like they have to go to school, then they have to get a job, get married, and then start their own life. In this process, they do not address the emotions that the child is feeling. The child cannot express openly what they are feeling. Or you may have a very dominating parent or a parent who emotionally manipulates a child into doing things. Now, this kind of behavior will affect your future relationships. So, to heal yourself, first of all, you should start enrolling into certain courses where you can express your emotions openly. Some spiritual courses which talk about chakras, their meaning, and how to open those chakras. So the fear of communication might come from your throat chakra. Your feelings that have been hurt, or you have not been able to express what you feel, all these things might be stored in your heart chakra. Your hurts, disappointments, abuses, all this is stored there. Or any sort of fear and insecurities you have in a relationship also affect the root chakra. So now, unless you start healing these chakras, you will not be able to have a healthy relationship. Secondly, you should not put your emotional home into somebody else, like your parent, like your partner, like a very good friend. You should not be dependent on somebody for emotional stability. You should work on yourself, be emotionally stable, not be compulsively reactive to certain triggers that you have. Or you should not be so dependent on somebody for validation, acceptance, love. Your partner, you may not realize, get overburdened because your emotional stability depends on their behavior on that particular day. So if they are not available to you emotionally, you will start triggering anxiety and start avoiding people that particular day. Thirdly, you should shift the frequency at which you're operating on, like already believing that you are in a healthy relationship. You should understand that these are all karmic relationships who have come to teach you a lesson, make you understand what kind of insecurities or unhealed part of you that you do not address yourself already exists inside you. These people come in your life and highlight it. Fourthly, you should get your birth chart analyzed. Your birth chart carries details about your relationship patterns, the way you've been brought up, the problems that you're facing in the relationships can be resolved through a lot of astrological remedies and understanding yourself better through your birth chart. And finally, you should become the person that you want to attract. This may take some time, and there is a lot of work that needs to be done on yourself. So if you're tired of heartbreaks and unstable relationships, do not be disappointed or depressed. It is universe's way of preparing you for the kind of relationship you would truly want. Some people realize this sooner, and some people take a lot of experiences in a relationship to realize this. There is no good time or bad time. There is no age of finding your perfect relationship or a relationship which can nurture you. I'll be sharing insights into karmic patterns, how astrology can help you release these emotional and karmic blockages, and practical ways to heal your emotional blueprint. If you're ready to break this karmic cycle, then come on a journey with me on Spiritual Raj. I do astrology readings, workshops, relationship healing, spiritual healing. So subscribe and let's go on this journey together. This is Spiritual Raj, and I'll see you in the next video.